On a night like this, it's very special, and it's a great honour to now move to our Outstanding Contribution to Ireland Award, which was launched and received by President Clinton in Dublin in 2010. The award has recognised some truly outstanding honorees, such as President Mary McAleese and Senator George Mitchell. And tonight we honour two outstanding individuals who have changed the course of history on this island and turned into peace what Irish poet Evan Boland described as a cause ruined and a world betrayed. Albert Reynolds and Sir John Major's finest hour came on December 15th, 1993, when as Prime Ministers they signed the Downing Street Declaration in London, paving the way for a ceasefire the following year. Sean Dignan, the former Government Press Secretary, recalls the time that Albert and Sir John first met while they were Ireland and UK's respective finance ministers in the 1980s. They were introduced at a European finance ministers meeting in Brussels, and soon after Sir John was appointed as Chancellor of the Exchequer. And at the meeting, Sir John said to Albert, "What do I need to know about this?" To which Albert replied that you're the bad guys, bad Europeans, bad partners, bad everything. But I think you and I are going to do business.
I just ask for a clear-cut, unequivocal assurance that violence is over for good.
The Taoiseach and I have now agreed on a joint declaration on Northern Ireland.
This is a historic opportunity for peace. We hope that everybody will grasp it.
Violence in Northern Ireland had led to walls of wilting flowers and an eternity of tears. If this declaration for peace helps to dry those tears, if it helps to replace the wilting flowers with new growth, then we can ask no more.
Albert Reynolds, ladies and gentlemen, stood up to a challenge in a way which no Taoiseach before him had ever done. Albert was first elected to the Dáil Éireann in 1977 and served in a number of key ministries, such as Finance and Commerce, before becoming Taoiseach in 1992. It was in this role that Albert stood out as a visionary leader who answered Ireland's call at a critical time in our nation's history. I know I speak for everyone in this room when I say that Ireland lost one of its best statesmen when Albert passed away in August, but I'm delighted that Albert's wife Kathleen and their children Philip, Emer, Leonie, Miriam, Kathy and Andrea can be with us this evening, and I'd like to welcome you all. I was honoured to attend Albert's funeral, and I listened to Philip's touching words about his father. But what stood out to me in particular was when Philip said, "Dad, your work here is done." This evening, we can all agree that Albert's work is indeed done, but his legacy and the fruits of his labour will endure for generations to come. We've reflected a great deal tonight on the changes in business over the decades, but since the Downing Street Declaration 21 years ago, Ireland, through peace on this island, has changed dramatically. And last year we honoured Senator George Mitchell for his work in brokering the Good Friday Agreement, and Senator Mitchell was quick to acknowledge how crucial the Downing Street Declaration was in making the Good Friday Agreement possible, and he described Albert's story as the important one. It is through Albert's work as Taoiseach, his tireless leadership and his unyielding perseverance that peace in Ireland became a reality, and that in 2005 an Irish Taoiseach stood before the United States Congress and proclaimed the words, "Ireland is at peace." To those who considered the obstacles on this island insurmountable after centuries of conflict, Albert said, "I don't mind if others think I fail. when I believe the greatest prize of all, peace, is still achievable. In both remembering and honouring Albert tonight, I am reminded of Teddy Roosevelt's famous Citizen of the Republic speech. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a great honour for us to be joined by Albert's family tonight, and as I invite his son Philip to join me on the stage, could I ask you all to please be upstanding in honour of a leader, a man in the arena, a visionary, a statesman, and a truly outstanding Irishman. Ladies and gentlemen, Albert Reynolds.
Distinguished guests, as Sean said earlier, champions of Ireland's recovery. To Anne Heraty, as Anne said, a fellow Longford person, I know Dad would be as proud of you in death as he was of you when he was alive. Well done, Anne. We're very proud of you in Longford. This is fantastic. I mean, it's fantastic for Sir John Major, and it's fantastic for all of the Reynolds family. I would like to thank Business and Finance for honouring Sir John and Dad in this way. I know Dad would be somebody who loves the limelight and the cameras, probably finds it very difficult watching this, not standing here. Probably has a wry smile on his face, knowing that at long last Sir John is going to get his opportunity to get his own back and speak on behalf of both of them without interruption. The piece that Business and Finance have chosen to honour and recognise with this award tonight, as many have said down through the years, is really the unyielding work of many. In Dad's case, he was extremely fortunate to have met Sir John Major at the time they spent together as finance ministers, but also, I suppose, the chance, the luck that both of them would have shared their time as prime ministers in the early 90s. At that time, and in my early 20s, I believed the spitting image, media, grey man image that was portrayed of Prime Minister John Major. As a matter of fact, I often wondered what our country in Western Taoiseach could have in common with such a man. Let me say to you that in the time since, I have learned many, many things, not least not to believe everything I see and read. I have had the privilege of sharing Sir John Major's company on a number of occasions. One in particular, when again I was subbing, unpaid again, for Dad, at a debate on Northern Ireland which was hosted by the Historical Society in Trinity College. I've shared his company more recently as he has visited Dad during his illness. I can say to you that I don't know whether it is the charisma of the man who held in his hand a bunch of young students, sometimes cynical and sarcastic, for such a long period of time, or whether it was the genuine warmth and care that he has shown for Mum and Dad during these past years. But what I can tell you, it's easy to understand why Dad liked Sir John so much. It's true also to say that in another time, Sir John's father might actually have performed in a Reynolds ballroom. So you can see there was more to connect them than to separate them. They say that politics always ends in tears. In this relationship, the only such sentiment was in late August when Sir John said goodbye to a dear friend. The warm applause and generous applause that you received in the church that day was a recognition, Sir John, of the great work and the great debt that Ireland owe you. It was also a huge appreciation for your efforts. It also summed up better than any words that we could articulate the great love and affection that we as a family have for you. The pillars of the peace process that you helped to build spans more than just borders. I think at this historic time in our own history, we should reflect on those and look perhaps to build a new politics, a new Ireland, not just a Northern Ireland. It was those principles of the wish to change, the desire to see things improve, the accommodation of difference, the room for everybody, the need of help, the respect for each other, and above all else, the determination and ambition to succeed, but to succeed together. These principles were also the pillars of a relationship. I cannot promise you that they will end up in the friendship that ended like Dad and Sir John Major, but it can sure improve the life of many. Thank you very, very much.
Philip Reynolds. Philip, thank you for accepting on behalf of your father. Thank you for those words. And Kathleen, thank you and all of your family and your grandchildren, who I believe are here as well this evening as well. So that's your extended Reynolds family. I know Abe's not here this evening, he's in New York, and he'll be watching this at some stage tomorrow, so we want to wish him all the best tonight. And thank you very much indeed, Philip. Fantastic words.